Welcome everybody to another vlog video, only the second I've ever done on this channel, but it is a special occasion. We've hit 30,000 subscribers, yay, we've done it finally. So this is a celebratory vlog video just to talk to you guys for a bit, and yeah, answer a couple of questions. Well, actually I've only got one question to answer, but before we get on to that, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel over the last year. When I started on YouTube over 2.5 years ago, I never imagined that the channel would ever take off to this degree. I thought, well, I might get a few people watching the videos, we might have some laughs, but now we're up to 30,000 subscribers and still going strong. So just a massive thank you to you guys. So I did mention questions. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to go through a big list of Q&A questions. I'm just going to, there's one question that I get asked more often than any other, and I get asked it pretty much every day. So I'm going to do my best to answer that as best I can right now. That question is, well, it's kind of a two-parter. Number one, how do I get started making videos on YouTube? And secondly, how do I become successful making videos on YouTube? Now, I don't know if I'm particularly qualified to give advice on the second point, as I've only had a small amount of success myself. 30,000 subscribers does seem big to me from where I started, but obviously, again, some of the big boys in YouTube, 30,000 is a pretty small number, but like I said, it's good. It's good for me. It's good enough for me. It's a lot higher than I expected to be after this much work. So, on to the question itself: how do I start making videos for YouTube? Simple answer to that, and you're gonna hate it because it's cliched, is just start. Just make a video. Just put it on to YouTube and see where it goes from there. Now, to get a bit more technical, obviously you're gonna need the programs and equipment to do so. So obviously you're going to need a PC, unless you only do console stuff, but then you're still going to need a PC to upload it to YouTube. So first thing you're going to need is some kind of capture software. Now I use a program called Bandicam. It's better than Fraps because in my opinion Fraps is a big pile of garbage that just eats your hard drive space for breakfast and doesn't give you particularly better results than another one. Bandicam does on-the-fly video encoding. What that does mean, though, is it does have a bit of a higher CPU usage. So if you feel like you're dropping frames using something like Fraps, well, actually, Fraps has got such a high file size throughput that Bandicam, even with its added CPU usage, is still going to be better than Fraps. But just do be aware that it is going to eat extra CPU usage when you use Bandicam, but it does have on-the-fly video encoding, so the quality is almost as good as Fraps lossless, but it uses a fraction of the file size. Now, there are good free alternatives out there. Another good one is the NVIDIA Shadow Play. That is my most highly recommended free capture software, NVIDIA Shadow Play. If you've got an NVIDIA Cutter card, then definitely just go Google that, NVIDIA Shadow Play, and if you're just getting started out, use that. There's nothing better. It's absolutely fantastic. It encodes in MP4s, so it's really good for editing. Secondly, you're going to need some kind of editing software in order to compress and fiddle around with those files. To be perfectly honest with you, Windows Movie Maker. If you use Windows and not a Mac, because if you use a Mac, then you just use iMovie or something like that. Windows Movie Maker, it's free, it's not particularly powerful, but when you're just getting started, it's fantastic. It's very, very easy to use, and your encoding quality, if you use the highest settings that if you use it to for high definition display, 14 megabits per second bitrate, is brilliant. It's really, really good for getting started. So you don't need any expensive equipment because you can use NVIDIA Shadow Play. You don't need expensive video editing software. Windows Movie Maker works just as well. So once all that's in place, I would just say just go and do it. The hardest thing is finding an idea. The idea part, I'm going to leave entirely up to you, because to be honest, I got started in World of Tanks videos because it was not long after the beta it finished and the game finally came out, which I think was April 2011. I've been playing it for about 6 months and I was having a lot of fun driving scout tanks, but I didn't feel like I was very good at driving scout tanks, so I went searching around on YouTube and trying to find some tutorials just to improve my World of Tanks play, and in specifics how to be a better scout. There was one really good video that I found. It was German, but it was subtitled. In fact, if I can find it again, I'll link it in the description, and that really helped me out. But that was basically it. There was nobody else really at that point doing good World of Tanks content, so I thought to myself, you know what, let's just do it. So I went ahead and I recorded a couple of games, put them up on YouTube. A few people watched them. I got a couple of hundred views, which is really good. They had no commentary, and they were awful videos. But a few people watched that, so I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to make a tutorial. So I made a World of Tanks scouting tutorial. Again, I'll put a link for that in the description. A lot of you guys, I know, do actually subscribe because of that still. Although a lot of the information may be out of date now because the game has moved on significantly, as this guide is 2.5 years old now. So a lot of you guys who subscribe through that one put comments in the comment section saying, well, this no longer applies. It's like, well, I know that because it was recorded 2.5 years ago. So a lot of the information is out of date or just outdated, especially the tanks and the equipment advice that I give in the part 2, which is probably why the part 2 is not watched as much. The part 1, which is the actual scouting tactics while on a map, still hold pretty true. So yeah, so that's how I got my major starters. I made that. That got passed around quite a bit, and I got a few thousand views on that and started getting subscribers in, and that and it basically went from there. And just continued making World of Tanks content. What I'll actually do is I'll go ahead and I'll find that first ever video that I made for World of Tanks with no commentary. I'll commentate over the top of it, and I'll put it at the end of this video so you can see exactly the quality of the recording equipment I had at the time. The game looks like garbage, but to be honest, the game looked like garbage back then anyway, as I think it was, well, it was first the videos, let's have a look if I can see when, so yeah, the video was first uploaded on the 5th of October 2011, so pretty much 2.5 years ago now, 2 years and 5 and a bit months, something like that, yeah. So it's old. The game looks old. It looks like garbage because my computer was awful back then. I think I was using Bandicam back then. It's only $40 incidentally, Bandicam, so if you are wanting to get a paid program, it's a pretty good one. But to be honest, NVIDIA Shadowplay is still your best idea to go for when you're just starting out. So yeah, I'll commentate over the top of that video, and you can have a look and see, one, what the game looked like back in the day. I'll talk about some of the changes that have been made, because, I mean, to be honest, apart from the actual layout of the map, the game is almost, well, it's not unrecognisable. It's still the same bloody game. You still drive around in tanks and shoot each other. But a lot of the systems have changed. A lot. You'll see at the end. So that's basically my advice, how to get started making videos for YouTube, is just do it. Come up with an idea and just go ahead and do it and upload it. And then once it's out there, then you can start working on the being successful part. Obviously, the easiest thing to do is just do something that nobody else is doing, because if you're going to come along and just say, well, we'll take World of Tanks that I do, for example. If you're going to come along and make World of Tanks videos, there's already so many people making them that are successful. Like, look at Jingles, look at Quickie Baby, look at Circon, look at Nethervoid, look at High Flyer, look at all those guys, all pretty successful. So really, you're coming into a reasonably saturated market at the moment. So trying to carve out a niche, your videos would have to be the best that you can possibly make them, and they would have to offer something different or something better than these guys are already offering. And to be honest, everybody's kind of carved their own niche out. Jingles is popular because he's Jingles. Quickie Baby is popular because he's really good at the game. High Flyer is popular because he gives really good advice and really good tips. Same as Nethervoid. Circon's popular because he's hilarious. I'm popular because I feel like I'm entertaining. So everybody's got their own little area and reasons that they are popular. So coming into something like that, and you think to yourself, well, I'm just going to make gameplay and talk about it, it's got to be either sufficiently different enough or sufficiently better than what's already out there, or else no one's going to watch it. Just try and think of something original, although there are no real original ideas these days, but try and just put a different spin on what you're wanting to do, and then you can probably go from there and hopefully become reasonably successful yourself. So on to the second part, how to become successful. I suppose I've already kind of half segued into that already by telling you how to be different enough and how to be original enough. The other... Sorry, I thought I heard a noise there. The other piece of advice is collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. You've got to get your name out there. Send messages to people who are around about your channel size. Like, it's no good, say, you've got 100 subscribers and, say, sending a message to Jingles, who's at nearly 200,000 subscribers, because he gets so many messages like that a day, he's probably not going to read them. Same with me. If someone's got 10 subscribers and they send me a message saying, oh, can we play some World of Tanks sometime? And record it and do a collaboration project. To be honest, I get so many messages like that a day. It's not because... I'm trying to think of the best way of wording this. It's not because I'm hating on the little guy, because obviously everybody's got to start from somewhere. But to be honest, I get so many messages like that a day that it's really hard to respond to them all. To be honest, I've got so little time in my life between making YouTube content and work and family and everything that finding time to make a video with everybody who sends me a message is almost impossible. And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but I'm just going to go ahead and brazenly say it. When it comes to a collaboration project, there's got to be a payoff for both sides. Like, if you're doing a collaboration with someone who's got 50, 100,000 subscribers, that might be great for you, but if the other person isn't really getting much out of it, then they're not going to say yes. If you've got, say, 100 subscribers and you get 10 views on every video, what's really in it for them, to be honest? Because if it's a collaborative project, you want to kind of have channels around about the same size. So what you want to do is, once you've got a few viewers coming in looking at your videos, you go around, you find channels that are similar to yours, on a similar size, and you just send out messages, say, hey, would you like to get together? We'll play some games, we'll record some footage, we'll put it up on both channels, and we'll try and get some cross-pollination going on. I mean, that's what I did originally, is I spoke to Highflyer a lot. I still haven't really made very much content with Highflyer, but we spoke a lot when we were both starting out. I've done quite a bit of collaboration stuff with John, Nethervoid. His channel's brilliant. We did some Minecraft stuff, some War Thunder stuff, and some World of Tanks stuff in the past together. And you can see right now with the YouTube Dream Team, we've got as many people together as we can to try and do this cross-pollination and get everybody just moving around between everybody else's channels and helping each other out like that. So collaboration is the #1 way. Don't think of yourself as in competition with anybody. Although competition is healthy, you can try and gauge your success based on someone who started around about the same time and see if you've got similar numbers after a certain amount of time. But it's not a competition. If you're going to do a collaboration project with someone, don't worry about them stealing your viewers. That's not the way it works. Collaboration is only ever beneficial for everybody involved. Secondly, you just, after you've got your name around there with collaborations, just post your video in places. Don't do it spammy. Like, don't go to Reddit and post on 6 different accounts your video and then upvote it yourself, because that's just a dick move. But certainly go to the World of Tanks forums or whatever forum it is for whatever game you're making. Post it on there. Go to Reddit. Reddit's a fantastic resource for this kind of thing. Obviously, set up a Facebook account, set up a Twitter account, tweet at people. That's also another good way. If you tweet, say you've made a World of Tanks video, tweet it at me, or tweet it at Circon, or tweet it at Jig, or tweet it at anybody for whatever content you're making. So Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, get it out there. And the more you put your video about, the more chance you've got of other people clicking on it, having a look, and then sharing it with their friends. So, but I mean, it's all cliche. This is all stuff that you knew really in the back of your own mind. You just needed that extra little push to do it yourself. So, I think I've waffled on for more than long enough on this vlog. I just want to say a massive thank you again to everybody who's subscribed over the last 2.5 years that I've been doing this. You guys are amazing, and you've really helped to shape and make this channel what it is today. So I just want to say a massive thank you to all you guys, and I hope we get many more milestones like this to come in the future. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to switch across to the first ever video that I made for, well, not just World of Tanks, it's the first ever video I made for YouTube. We'll take a look at that. I'll commentate over the top of it so you can see what my thoughts are on it now and talk about some of the changes that have happened, and hopefully we'll have a bit of a laugh at my expense at my terrible potato computer and my shitty skills at World of Tanks back then. So, thanks very much for watching, everybody. If you're not interested in watching that game, then you can just click away now. But thanks very much, and I will catch you next time. So, as promised, we have first ever World of Tanks video that I ever recorded. It's going to be in the IS, and it's going to be on a standard battle on the Siegfried line. I'm not going to do this like the regular shoutcasting that I do. This is just going to be more of a chat to you while we do it. One of the major things you'll notice is the UI. The minimap isn't scalable. the team scores on the left and right hand side aren't changeable. You can't do anything with those. So there's two of the major things right away. You will see that a lot of the elements do look the same though. The tank in the bottom left hand corner is the same. The minimap is generally the same, but as you see on the minimap, the 1 and 2 for the bases aren't just red and green. They are a literal 1 and 2. But fear not, the IS does still get that awesome 122mm cannon that it gets, the same as the KV-1S, so still going to be able to do some serious damage in this. But I think you'll be interested to see some of the ways that things happen. Obviously, you can see that the game looks like crap. Partly that's down to my computer being fairly terrible, but it's also down to the game itself being fairly new as well. This was only about 6 months after release. I think it's about patch 7.6, if I remember rightly. It might be 7.4. I might be remembering that wrong. As you can see, I'm just trying to cover off the centre here. Did find a Jagdpanther there, but I'm not really situationally aware, especially because the... Oh, take a hit in the side. The minimap doesn't make that noise and flash up when somebody appears. You're left to your own devices to try and work that out yourself. So I'm going to head around here, see if I can pick somebody off, because obviously being top tier in this game, we're going to have a nice easy run of this one. And I'm pretty sure someone's going to appear in this road at some point. And there we go, T28. Took him out, no problem whatsoever. The gun still does ridiculous damage. The other thing you'll notice is there's no over-target markers. We have no idea how much health people have. You do get a little percentage when you hover over them, but that is about it. There's no actual numbers in this. So I suppose that's one thing you got to bear in mind when people complain about the bars in World of Tanks 360 compared to the actual numbers. In battle, there was no actual numbers in World of Tanks to begin with either on the PC. As you can see, the Jagdpanther's on 79% hit points. No idea how much 79% is, because like I said, there was no over-target markers. There was no health bars above the tanks. Also, the other thing you'll notice when I get a shot here, no damage numbers. All it does is his hit points go from 43% down a little bit, and that is about it. So no actual damage numbers. I got hit a couple of times from a T-34-85 there, spin my turret around instead of spinning the turret and the tank. And you can see that I'm a pretty big noob when it comes to this. So we're going to try and track him down because he's not ran away quick enough at all. And the other thing, with the game looking fairly new, see, look at that. I just took 50% of his 50% hit points off there, but no numbers, so I have no idea how much that actually was. He just went from 84% to 34%, and that's all we get. I think he's firing HE here at the moment. A lot of new players to the game at this point just read HE ammunition and went, oh, it does more damage, I'll use that one. And obviously heavy tanks just laugh in their faces at that. There's another couple of points that I want to make, which I don't think happened till later on. There, that was it actually. You may have noticed that I scored a critical hit on the T1 Heavy, but at the same time I also did full hit point damage to him. So back in the early days of the game, you scored critical hits, but you also did actual hit point damage to somebody. So when you say killed a member of the crew or damaged a module, you also still did hit point damage to them. So we're just going to wait for this T1 to come out again. I'm just going to pop him in the face and finish him off. Just having a look to see where I've been penetrating. This T1 comes right out, and he's gone. You'll also notice that the noises are a bit different as well. The cannon definitely doesn't sound like a cannon when you fire it. It kind of makes a bit of a muted boomf noise, and that's about it. I've kind of got the enemy on the back foot here, although it is, well, no, it's not. It's 9-6. It's not even at all. We're winning considerably, especially when this SU-100 gets taken out. Although the enemies evened it up nicely at 10-8, this Panther's going to be firing all the HE at my side here. I realise I'm not taking any damage, which is why I don't really care about turning my front armour onto target. And I'm going to go and charge this guy down, because I'm in a heavy tank and he's in a medium, although a Tiger appears, and as you notice there, the Tiger does a considerable amount of damage. So that was something I was surprised about when I saw it, that you could do hit point damage and critical hits at the same time, getting flanked by that Jagdpanther from earlier. Unfortunately, he's got nowhere near enough hit points to be able to take us on, as me and the other IS are both just holding this position here. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. We just wind the game down now. We're just going to be able to take this
take these guys apart, no problem, especially when I find a T-28 in the distance there. Let the reticule close a bit. And as you see, killed him and scored a critical hit at the same time, so I probably either damaged his engine or something like that, but also did full hit point damage to him. So that's one thing that's changed for, well, I don't know if it's for the better or for the worse, but it's changed significantly since the game released. So we've got this Tiger here. I'm just trying to lure him out, but the other IS just finishes him off, and that is GG and the victory. So the other main change is you got your results screen in the game while you're still there. So as you can see, it tells you what you've killed. It tells you your personal achievements there, and it tells you the battle heroes. I got Steel Wall, obviously, because Steel Wall is what I get. We'll skip back to the personal achievements here. All it tells you is who you destroyed, who you damaged, and who you detected. And then the bottom right hand corner, it tells you your experience, credits, and your repair cost. And that is literally all the information that you get. You don't get how much damage you've done or anything. This was the only screen that you got. You didn't get anything in the garage whatsoever. This was basically it. This is all you got. So that's a little retrospective look of how the game used to look 2.5 years ago. So you can see that it really has evolved and it really has come on since that time. And I just want to say one last final massive thank you to everybody who subscribed over the last 2 and a bit years. Without you guys, definitely couldn't carry on doing this and making awesome content like this. So thanks very much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions just about YouTube in general, World of Tanks, or just anything at all for me to maybe do another vlog and answer some of those questions, then just leave that in the comment section below, and I'll get around answering as many of those as possible, either replying to your comments or making a whole video on the subject. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, leave me a like or favourite, and if you're not already, then please consider hitting that subscribe button for more content like this in the future. I've been Maxwell, this has been a vlog and my first ever YouTube video redubbed, and I will catch you guys next time.